Hey guys, I just woke up. I weighed in at about 224 today. Today I'm going to really focus on showing you all my meals. I'm going to show you every single macro that I consume. So I'm going to eat about 4 to 5 meals today. I'm going to try and make them mostly whole food meals, meaning not so many shakes. I'll probably throw 1 or 2 shakes in there because that's usually what I do. As far as training goes, I'm going to show you my training from 2 days ago because I hit legs and back and I really want to show you that. Today I'm doing bench and some dumbbell press, which I showed you last time. So stay tuned for those meals. Ribeye steak. I'm gonna put in about 130 grams. This is a really fatty steak, so just be careful with how much you eat. 115 grams is gonna run you, 20 to 30 grams of fat. So, but I don't have to be careful because I'm eating 5,000 calories a day. Fortunately. Show you guys how that looks. Alright, so on top of that, I'm going to throw some teriyaki sauce. So this meal here is obviously not going to be a cutting meal for most people because it's going to have a good amount of calories. If you were cutting, you'd obviously want a leaner steak and maybe something with not as much sugar as your sauce. But I usually throw this on. It's really good. Tastes delicious. Alright, so per serving it's 19 grams. So I'm going to spread 19 grams of the sauce on the steak. That's about 1 protein, 8 carbs, and 1 fat. At the end of the meal, I'll show you exactly how many macros are in the entire thing. Alright, so usually I get the protein out of the way. So now that we got the ribeye done, I'm going to kind of find out what kind of carbs and maybe a little more fat to add in. Okay, so we got Luke's Organic superfood chips. It's multi-grain, like sweet potato. It's actually really good. If you just went by the name, you would probably think that it's terrible, but they taste really good. And there's a decent amount of fiber in it, so it's like 3 grams of fiber for about 12 chips. So I'll probably have like 36 or so chips, which comes to about 90 grams on the scale. That gets me about 9 grams of fiber right there. So definitely tastes good and is definitely a carb with a good amount of fiber. Alright, you got about 90 grams there. So about 90 grams of this is like 15 protein, 54 carbs, and 18 fat. 9 grams of fiber too. Alright, so we got a good amount of carbs in place, a good amount of fat and protein. The thing is, I take in about 600 grams of carbs, which is way more than my protein and way more than my fat. I'm taking in about 230 protein and 156 fat with 600 carbs. So I'm looking for more carbs to throw in here now. But before I do, I'm gonna throw some of this on, sour cream, and I have a good idea of what I want for my carbs. Thinking iced tea, powdered iced tea, throw that in your shaker cup, shake it, and that's the fastest carbs, you could ever want. I mean, I could throw in as many carbs, like I could throw in just 60 grams of sugar and I could hit, my carbs easier that way, which is what I do. Once you hit like a certain calorie intake and your carbs are so high, you kind of have to find these ways to, meet that requirement of having so many carbs. You're not going to sit down and have rice every single meal. So throwing in, Gatorades and, powdered drinks, powdered sugary drinks, it's important. Alright, so I threw in 60 grams of sour cream, which is 2 protein, 4 carbs, and 10 fat. Alright, here's the tea. Really good if you're bulking. per 18 grams is 18 carbs. So every gram is a carb here. It's pretty much pure sugar. Great if you need to just fit in extra calories. I use this a lot. All right, 61 grams of carbs. All you gotta do is close it, shake it up. Easy 60 grams of carbs. All right, so I'll let you take a look at the meal. I'm actually gonna go ahead, since it's so nice out, I'm gonna take this outside. Before I go outside to eat this, the macros for this meal are 49 protein, 127 carbs, 58 fat, with 9 grams of fiber. All right, guys, I'm on my deck right now, about to eat this meal. Gorgeous day out here. Gonna eat this meal, do some research, work on some programs and stuff like that. But my next meal should be my last one before training, so I'll see you then. All right, guys, I'm about to hit up the gym. I'm gonna make a shake. 9 times out of 10, I'll have a shake, usually whey protein, oats, fruit, and some like fats, so maybe some coconut oil or some almond butter. That's usually my staple, my pre-workout meal. Good amount of fiber, so it'll keep you full enough throughout your workout. You get your simple sugars from the fruit, and also the fast-acting protein from the whey. So it's like a combination. It's a good meal. At the same time, you're not gonna feel overly full. You just can't overdo it with the fats. It'll keep you satiated throughout the workout. Like I said, it won't make you feel too full. It's quick. You know, I make it in like 5 minutes, knock it down, then I give myself like about an hour before I train. Usually I'll take my pre-workout like right before I train, or I'll actually sip it like as I'm training. That's usually how I set things up, so come check it out. All right, first thing, like the last video, oats. I throw in about 125 grams, which is about 85 grams of carbs, about 13 fiber. And also remember, there's actually protein in oats. There's about 16 grams of protein in this serving, so when you're counting your protein, make sure you're counting your protein from all sources and not just like from meats or, you know, like your whey protein and stuff and eggs. Protein's in a lot of different foods. You'd be surprised. Got my staple here, Optimum Nutrition Whey. Throw in 30 grams here. It's about 24 protein, 3 carbs, and 1 fat. And banana. Usually I throw in like 60 or 70 grams of the banana, depending on how hungry I am. If I'm not as hungry, I won't put in as much because these have a good amount of fiber in it. And as you know, fiber is going to keep you full. So I'm throwing about 90 today. I'm actually kind of still hungry, even though I had that big meal earlier. Alright, so since I am kind of hungry, I'm going to throw in this almond butter. It says it's about 6 protein, 7 carbs, and 18 fat per 2 tablespoons. So I'm going to throw in about 2 tablespoons here. This is from Costco, by the way, Kirkland. Costco is amazing. If you don't go there and you're a bodybuilder or you're a physique athlete or an athlete in general and you need to eat a lot of food, Costco, BJ's, you know, these are amazing places to get a lot of food for really low cost. Alright, here's the finished product. Let's see the almond butter, banana, chocolate whey protein, and oats. And I'm going to blend this up. Alright guys, shake is done. Actually, it looks really good. I'm going to give this a shot here. Really good. The only difference is that you could actually add almond milk or regular milk in here. Just a habit for me to add water, but you know, milk and almond milk or anything like that will increase the consistency, give it a little more flavor. So if you wanted to, you know, add that in, that's fine too. I'm gonna drink the shake, set up my pre-workout, go do a couple things, and then I'm headed to the gym. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, I'm about on the way to the gym now. About 5 minutes away. I'm gonna put up my workout from 2 days ago, where I hit legs and back. So I'm gonna put that up now, and this workout I'll probably throw up on Instagram, a few of the exercises, but I really wanted you guys to see the front squat and back dominant workout from a couple of days ago. So yeah, so enjoy that, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so here's my first working set of the day. It's 225 on the front squat. Really focusing on pushing through the heels, trying to keep my torso as upright as possible. For this tempo, I'm actually working on the explosive tempo. So, I'm coming down and I'm exploding out of the hole as hard as I can. Taking about 2 minutes rest in between each set here. This set right here should be 240 pounds for 4 reps. And this set coming up is going to be 3 reps with 245. Really important to stay tight. Glutes should be tight. Your entire body should be tight. You don't really want to use too much weight here on the front squat because you can risk injury. Your torso and your core is actually going to give out before your quads, so just to keep that in perspective. You definitely don't want your core to give out with that much weight on your shoulders here. This is another 3 rep set with 255 pounds. Coming down with somewhat control and exploding out of the bottom. Looking good. Racking it. Last set here is with 265 for 2 reps. Like I said, staying tight, hitting the hole and exploding out. These actually felt quite easy. Next week I'll definitely be going heavier than this. Alright, next I moved on to Romanian deadlifts. This is a huge movement for your hamstrings. This is probably one of, or if not the best movement for your hamstrings. You can really load up the weight. Here I'm using about 295 pounds, controlled eccentric, coming up. Yep, as you can see, really using my hamstrings and glutes. Even though it looks like I'm coming up pretty fast, I'm really focusing on sitting back on my heels and really pulling with my hamstrings and then pushing through with my glutes at the top to really engage that posterior chain. So I actually did 3 sets of 8 reps here on these Romanian deadlifts. This was my top set here. Going to about RPE 8, RPE 9. Alright, up next here is the front loaded reverse lunge. Now I'm using 155, which isn't a lot of weight, but you do not need that much weight for this exercise. It's actually it's a very, very tough exercise. Not a lot of people do it. It's very quad, glute ham dominant. I'm actually supersetting this with RDL, so I'm hitting my RDLs, my Romanian deadlifts first, and then I'm going right into these. So my hamstrings and my glutes are already pre-exhausted before I even get to this exercise. So this is actually one of the hardest exercises that I've ever done. Especially it's front loaded, so you're basically in a front squat position the entire time, and you're reverse lunging, so very effective though. For this I'm actually doing 8 reps per leg, semi-explosive rep tempo, and I'm doing about 3 sets here. Alright, so now I have a giant set coming up. It starts out with single leg hip thrusts, and for these I'm actually doing a 1 to 2 second pause at the top and 12 reps per leg. I usually do barbell hip thrusts with 2 legs. This is my first time actually doing this. It's very, very good. I actually get a better contraction with the 1 leg single hip thrust than I do with both legs. So you can't really load the weight too much here. As you see, I'm hardly using, not even using a plate on each side, but the tension and the contraction on your glutes is really, really good. And yeah, I'm taking this to about an RPE 9. And we move along to chin-ups. This is one of my favorite back exercises. I actually like pull-ups a little better, but chin-ups actually hit the lower to mid lats a little better than pull-ups do. Pull-ups are more for upper lats, upper back area, but I'm doing an AMRAP set here. As many reps as possible without using momentum. Yeah, that's one of my favorite back exercises. Really puts on a lot of meat in those lower lat areas, which is one of my weak points. So, and then here, moving right along with the giant set, is dips, and should be getting about 4 reps here. You want to tilt your torso forward slightly, and you don't want to go too deep, so your shoulders don't really want to go under your elbows. You kind of want to hit parallel, maybe slightly under, but you don't want to go too much because that risks shoulder injury. And there's Rob just kind of zooming in here. And to finish off this workout, there's going to be some barbell curls. We're going to use a fast tempo here. We're going to hit 6 reps, and that should do it. So for this giant set, I'm doing 3 sets on each exercise. Like I said, a giant set, you're hitting all these exercises one after the other, no rest. I'm back in the house now. About to make a shake. Gonna use Optimum Nutrition Whey again. Gonna throw in about 45 grams of it. And that's about 36 grams of protein. On top of that, I usually like to have my creatine like right after I'm training. So I'll throw in about 8 grams of that now. Yeah, so you don't really have to take creatine right after you train. As long as you just get in your 5 grams every day, you should be good. It's just a personal preference for me to take it after. And then, so I got the whey protein, the creatine, and I got some cheesecakes. I had about 3 of these. Then I threw in some more Luke's Organic Superfood Chips. Had about 2 servings of these. And to top it all off, I had some iced tea, about 33 grams. And this post-workout meals macros are 49 protein, 121 carbs, 31 fat. Alright, so for the last meal of the day here, is going to be some eggs. So I threw in about 5 eggs, scrambling them up. And I really like this cheese, the sharp cheddar. I'm going to throw in about 2 slices of that. Throw it in a pan. Mix it all up. Again, another staple for me, Dave's Killer Bread. It's high in protein and fiber. Have 2 slices of that, and then with some butter and jelly. And there it is. Really solid meal, high in fiber. And then on the side for after, I threw in some blackberries and some Nutella. This is kind of like a little dessert to finish off, and a nice glass of milk. Alright guys, that about sums up the full day of eating video. I hit all my macros today. I actually went over by 126 calories. My total macros for today were 210 protein, 483 carbs, and 195 fat. That's usually, this is definitely a higher fat day for me. I took some calories from carbs and some protein, threw them into fat. That's totally fine as long as you don't overdo it. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm going to keep getting better with this. I'm going to try and get some more vlogs out. I'm doing about 1 vlog per week now, but I'll definitely up that soon. So this is going to release on Monday, the vlog, and then Thursday is going to be the self-development video. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and I'll see you guys soon.